Mm.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Bowl STP Sports Podcast. I got my main man with me. What up,
What's
Nitty?
good? What's good? What's good? Nitty, your resident Raider fan, back again.
You already know, man. And if we got a Raider fan in here, this is a big day in the NFL. Like, you usually don't get no type of trades this early of these names before the actual trade deadline. But we had two today. We had Davante Adams getting traded to the New York Jets, and we had Amari Cooper getting traded to the Buffalo Bills, which is funny that they just played each other yesterday, the Jets and the Bills. I mean, we gonna start with the Raiders because we got my man on today. He a Raider fan, so I'm gonna start with you. What you think about this situation?
Hey, listen, we traded Davante for a third round pick and Tom Brady. It's like
Nah,
nah. But look. Let's deep dive into it. I must say this, man. Tay is one of my favorite wide receivers, but the
wow.
thing is, bruh, if you don't want to be there, you ain't got to be there, man. I want people in the building that want to play for the organization. So I mean, listen, we you know what I'm saying, we gave him his wish. We got him out of there. He's back with his old friend Aaron Rodgers. Now, I must say, Davante has not made the greatest of decisions in the last couple of years because he could have still been in Green Bay balling with that young quarterback in Jordan Love,
For
which
sure.
he didn't even give the young boy a chance to even, you know what I'm saying, come out and show what he could do. So he left prematurely, left Green Bay prematurely, came to the Raiders. Now, granted, that's my favorite team. His best friend, Derek Carr, you know, they had a great 2 seasons, a good connection. They always had a connection. But overall, as far as the team win-loss record, all of that just didn't work out.
Right,
And
right.
and here he is now, not willing to see it through. I mean, which that's his right. But he's going to a Jets team that is definitely in disarray. Aaron Rodgers has what, 1, 2 years, maybe three, who knows? And listen, when he leaves, do we really have confidence that the Jets will draft a quarterback, B, coach up that quarterback that they drafted for the future? I don't see that happening.
But
So
I want to answer that question you just said. What I think they're gonna do, I think the Jets are gonna go in the path of bringing in vets. Like, let's say I'm gonna throw it out there, like Stafford might come after that, or like just
mhm,
throwing out names because they have a team that they think, keyword
right,
they think, is ready to win right now. So I don't think they'll draft a quarterback. And even if they don't make the playoffs this year, I think they're gonna win enough games to where they're not gonna be high up
not going to
picking
be high
one of
enough.
the top quarterbacks. So I think their move is going to be bringing in quarterbacks for a couple, like the next 3 or 4 years,
Right.
bringing in like veteran quarterbacks to try to win now. They giving me that, but like the Rams did with Stafford, basically, like how they did. They felt ready,
Mhm.
and But is it right? I don't know. We don't know because like it's a lot of things different going on in the Jets organization than the Rams. The Rams coaching staff was set. We don't know who the coach gonna be next year for the Jets.
Very,
We don't know
very.
who the coordinator, nothing like. So it's definitely a different.
But see,
Go ahead. What?
no, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just back and forth, but see, this is where I have a problem. Not a problem, but this is where I have a slight concern, and it's not because I'm biased. Of course, everybody know, I love my Raiders, but look, the Jets, like, to me, Robert Saleh was, I would say, the heart and soul of the team because he was there when a lot of these cats was babies and they grew up, and he put that defense. I mean, they always had a good defense back to Rex Ryan, but it dropped off a little bit once Todd Bowles got there. It was solid, but Salah brought that oomph back to the New York Jets. All they needed was a quarterback. So a lot of the cats that they got there, a lot of the young cats, he had a hand in drafting and he had a hand in coaching them up.
Right.
Now he's not there no more. So if you just read the tea leaves, you could see Aaron Rodgers has, I wouldn't say a not so positive influence on the team and the direction of the team. It's like whatever he say goes, whatever he wants, they get.
Right.
And look, you always want a GM or a owner to push all the chips in front of the table and to go for it, but you got to be smart about it. And we've seen, and history will show you, players are not GMs. Players
Sure.
are not coaches. Sometimes they make the wrong decision. Sometimes they pick wrong. And I mean, hey, you can see it in Las Vegas. I kinda think we picked wrong. The players picked wrong, but that's for another show.
But see, I see. One thing I what we this don't really got nothing to do with it, but it does in a sense. I feel like the best decision out of all these teams that's involved, the people that traded for it and all that, I think the Packers. They let go of A-Rod.
Oh, they
Jordan Love is a
yeah,
better player than him right now. Now, none of them receivers are better than Davante yet, but would their growth have been stunted if they kept Davante, if Davante stayed? You know what I mean? So Green Bay, I think, made off the best out of all this and saved the most
I
money
agree.
out of all
I
this. You
agree.
know what I mean? Like they did an amazing job. And you said something in the beginning that Devontae should have probably stayed with the Packers and agreed. That made me wonder what was he looking at in practice to make him say, okay, A-Rod's going, I want to go and play with my friend Carr. Because if I see Jordan Love still is doing something, my mind is that, oh, I got a couple years left here where we got a shot to win the bowl. Because I mean, right now they have a shot. The NFC is wide open. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying? Like the NFC is
right,
wide open. Like you could pick 4 or 5 teams that can win. We don't like this. This not like the typical last 3 or 4 years where we like Niners.
right, right,
Some people
right.
threw Cowboys in there, but typically Niners. But how we felt, you know what I'm
Niners,
saying? This
Niners,
year,
Eagles, right.
Eagles, yeah, Eagles. My bad, I forgot about them. Apologies, Eagles fans. Right now, I don't know who would coming out of that NFC. Like, and Green Bay definitely has a shot. Like, all it takes is them to stay hot and be hot in that playoffs. So, like, I feel like they made it. They did a great job. But on the Devontae thing, I think he made a mistake, like you said, leaving. But once he went to Vegas, I feel like his biggest mistake was going to a team that's not and that's looked at as guaranteed to win on the back half of your career for a friend.
Right,
Your friend
right.
gonna be you could be friends when the league is when you're done. If you say you want you're there to win, no one had Vegas going to
Yeah,
win.
we wasn't ready.
Right,
We wasn't a wide receiver away
right.
from contending. We still had a lot of pieces to
We
get.
initially we thought maybe competing for a playoff spot.
Right, right, right,
But
right.
you're saying you want to win another or win a ring, not another, because he ain't got one. Win a ring. So I thought, but again, that makes me say, what did he see at Green Bay? He mustn't think it was that good. But he went there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at him wanting to leave. I don't like how he acted throughout the season, the past 2 seasons. I don't like the watching the Netflix series, the things he was saying. I didn't like that part. But I get him like at some point, okay, I'm 32 years old now. How many years do I got left in my prime? I want to compete for a title. I'm ready to go. I think he just could have handled it a little bit better. I'm not mad that he wanted to leave though. And ultimately, it probably would have been even better if it happened last year because y'all would have probably got more back in
Yeah,
return. But y'all still could get that second if they what he got to make. I don't think he's gonna make a first or second all pro, but they
they
can
have to
make a
make the
conference
AFC.
finals or a Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
they have to make the AFC. Yeah,
Yeah, they can do it. Like don't the 2-4 record ain't fooling me. Like and adding Devontae to me, like you said, it's dysfunction there, but that's tough to watching that game yesterday. The way Garrett was getting, we know what Garrett could do, and we know what Devontae could do. And you add A Rod that knows Devontae very well. Their schedule's still tough. I believe they could make a
uh,
run to the playoffs.
they can, but a lot of the success of the Jets, just like last year, stands on the shoulders of Aaron Rodgers. If he cannot stay healthy, they not going nowhere. That O line has to block for him. That O
It's,
line has to protect him.
it's like
And
you
if he
saying everything I'm about to say. Like I was about to say, I just don't know if A Rod gonna make it through the season. But you just said it for me. Like literally, I don't know. Every time he get hit, he get up. I be like, damn, he gonna keep playing? Because I don't know if he gonna
listen,
get up. Like one
not
thing I'll
too
say,
many people can outduel Father Time. Not too many people can do it.
and that's why that debate maybe I think it ended about 6 7 years ago of A Rod or Brady. It's
Right.
Brady with these. Like it's not even a conversation. Like A Rod's not even with Mahomes. Like for real, for real. Like he's a great thrower of the ball, but just overall career, like Brady didn't look like he looked scary sometimes, but he didn't when he got hit, he got up talking crazy. Like A-Rod be
Yeah,
getting up
for
like, I
real.
can't believe I'm still here playing this damn game. Like that's how
Right,
A-Rod looks to
right.
me when he get up like and he just looks like a shell of himself. Like Brady didn't look like a shell of himself to me. Like A-Rod just don't look the same to me at all. Like I feel like Brady still could have did another year or two.
Listen, a lot of in a lot of ways, the game last night was probably the straw that broke the camel's back, where both teams said, "Look, we gotta we gotta add it. We gotta make another addition to this team." I think both teams came out of last night's game feeling that we need a playmaker on the outside of the perimeter, uh, a possession receiver, someone with sure hands that our quarterback can trust.
Now that's funny to me too because I feel like it's obvious that both teams was in talks with these players. Like
Yeah,
because it's
because
no way this both happened the same day. What, 3 weeks
once
before?
the shoe drop, yep, once the shoe
But
drop, the other
right.
one dropped right
Buffalo
after.
like, hold on, y'all ain't about to jump now and get a run, and we might take a couple else. We got to make ours now. Okay, what y'all said, a third round for Amari? We can do that. We'll take it. Let's do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So with that, that's perfect segue to it. Another trade that happened today. This is crazy, honestly. To be 3 weeks before the trade deadline, two wide receivers, number one receivers. Amari Cooper gets traded to the Bills for, I believe it was a third round as well.
Yep,
What you
another
think about
former
that?
Raider, another
Another
former Raider.
former Raider. Yeah, it is.
I actually think I like this for the Bills, because I watched Amari Cooper since he was drafted, even before he was drafted when he played for Alabama. I watched him closely a lot. Um, I think Josh Allen needs that security blanket, someone with some sure hands, someone with some wiggle, someone that a defensive coordinator has to account for on the field. Now, maybe the last couple of years, Amari might not have been that player with Deshaun Watson, but I think he's still fairly young. I think some fuel is still left there in the tank. And with Josh Allen, I think the experiment without that number one wide receiver first 6 weeks of the year didn't go so well. I think they just was like, you know what, enough is enough. Let's get our man some help, and let's see if this is the year that we could catch the Chiefs and we could make a run for the title.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that this is the perfect number one for Josh. Because one thing I feel with Josh is he didn't like a wide receiver that demands the ball. And if you, I heard something that he hasn't thrown a pick since last year, week 18, Josh Allen,
Mm,
which is
mm,
crazy because
right.
you had a better receiving core before that, but you was so locked into them because you didn't want to deal with what they go say if you don't get them the ball. Now he just like now I can just go through my progressions. But Amari doesn't get one thing I've never really heard about Amari is complaining about getting the ball. I'm sure, I mean, a receiver is a receiver. I'm sure they all do it, but not to the extent of a Diggs or a CD Lamb. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like those type of, I would say we call them diva receivers.
He's
Amari's
very
not a
quiet.
diva,
Yeah, he's a
right?
very quiet, stoic. Yeah,
Almost to a fault. Almost
yeah,
to a
right,
fault. He's a little
right,
too quiet. Like you need to
right,
speak a little bit. But I
right.
think he's the perfect marriage for Josh Allen because he's still talented, and he's not gonna demand the ball, but he's gonna get the ball
Yeah,
off just his skill set alone. You know
I
what
think
I
he's
mean?
still one of the best route runners in the league. Still has that speed. And listen, Josh Allen got the arm, so he can definitely get him the ball.
Yeah.
Definitely get him the ball. What we looking at the outlook for the Cleveland Browns moving forward?
Um, if I'm Washington, I'm trying to hit them up for Ward. Like they look like they in the buy or sell market, like sell market, buy or
Yeah,
sell. Like
fire sale.
so, we need a secondary. Like if you giving away Marvin, you already had the lowest passing this year out of any team in the league. You pretty much said the season's over at this point. You're
Right,
building.
right.
You want to build going forward. So I mean, what you gonna do with War right now? You got to like you got a defense. I mean, Miles. I mean, I'm saying like, do
Hey,
he want to sit there through this? Like y'all ain't they ain't going nowhere at this point. Like they I think they topped out with their defense the last 2 years, but they they made some noise. They was dangerous, but we knew they wasn't gonna do nothing because the offense just was
too
too
anemic.
flustered.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had nothing there. But the defense was so strong, but the defense can't even hold on no more. Like it's like, all right, how long can I keep
Listen,
doing stops and getting stops? And y'all ain't getting nothing. Like y'all ain't even getting the first down against bad defenses. So I mean, I think Cleveland is in a full rebuild. And that's to even go back to y'all Raiders. Honestly, I think y'all the Raiders are in a rebuild as well, but I think the rebuild for y'all is a little different. I think y'all rebuild. I think the overall roster, I believe Cleveland has bet more, but I think y'all rebuild will be faster because of what y'all have. If that makes sense. I think Cleveland they've been trying it with what they have for so long.
right?
You can feel the frustration. I think Raiders team has more of a we here, we just need some pieces type
It's
of thing.
yeah, and the number one factor is that we don't, unlike the Browns, we don't have 250 something million guaranteed tied up
Right.
into a quarterback.
Right.
So we could allocate that money elsewhere while hopefully drafting a young dynamic quarterback.
Right.
Um, but right now, I mean, right now we're just not we're not a good team right now. I'm honestly, I think AP. I like AP, right? But
Yeah.
I think he's in over his head, and I think he has. And it is a rookie coach mistakes, but I think he has a hard time making adjustments after the first quarter. And I also think he has too many chefs in the kitchen. He has some older veteran coaches on our staff that is kind of like helping him steer the ship,
Right.
and he's hearing too many voices in his head, and he's not going with his gut. And to be honest with you, I really wholeheartedly don't even think that he wanted to start Minshew. I think in the beginning of the year he was with Aiden O'Connell, but I think the other coaches in his ear, the other coordinators in his ear, they wanted to go with the veteran in Minshew, and that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back for Davante as well.
That was the biggest mistake. And it shocked me because to me, y'all looked so good at the end of the year when Alex took over. And like you said, Devontae liked them. So I don't see like even if Minshew was better, the difference ain't
Right,
enough to go
right.
away from having a good ending to your season. And not to mention, let's see if we can build it with this guy because maybe he is the guy. We don't know.
We don't
He
know. We
gave him
got
a
to see
fair
what we
shot.
got. We got to
Like
see what we got.
and this was a perfect year to do it. This is I mean, he's there now, but I felt like that should have been from the jump. Like Minshew
Yeah,
doesn't move the needle enough to say
the
I'm gonna
chance.
put this young guy back as a backup. No, Minshew did if the young guy struggles too crazy.
Yeah, right,
And now
right,
you
right.
put that veteran in there. Like that was where I was just completely thrown off by y'all. Like when y'all did that, because I thought Alex looked very good last year, and I thought you could try to build off something with that. And yeah, like you said, your number one receiver liked them as well.
You
What
got
are
to
we
strike.
doing?
You
AP
got to
like
strike when the iron's hot. I mean,
yeah,
this guy got you the job. All the players rallied around him last year after we sat down Jimmy G. So I thought it was only right that he came into the season, given the keys to do what he can do. You know what I'm saying? Coach him up. He has all the weapons in the world, full off season, full playbook. Give him a chance. And I really think that contributed to Davante making a decision like, okay, man, like I can't, I can't deal with this. And listen, man, I wish him the best. But like I said, I'm a Raider fan to the death. So if you don't want to be here, by all means, that's fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? This ain't the last time. Like, we gonna keep pressing forward. And hopefully, if they don't learn anything from this season, you have to. I mean, it's detrimental if you do not draft a quarterback this year. It's detrimental if you don't.
so my last question on this is what team is better from this point on? Now, who's going to finish with the better record? Because obviously Buffalo got a step on them right now with the record. What team is better from this point on, the Bills or the Jets?
I'm gonna go with the Bills because it's a lot more consistency. Sean McDermott has been there for like the past 5, 6 years. You know what I'm saying? Josh Allen has been there for the past 5, 6 years. Um, he is the guy, the unquestioned guy of that team. And look, the Jets, listen, for all the bells and the whistles and all the media coverage, they, let's just call it what it is. They have really been dysfunctional the last few years. and they play in the big market, and I really don't. I mean, can they make a run? Yeah, it's possible. They have the talent to do so, but a lot of that hinges on, like I said, like we both said, Aaron Rodgers. And I just think the Bills have a great, they have great talent. And not to say the Jets don't have talent, but I'm just speaking of consistency with between the coaching staff, between the players. You know what I'm saying? A lot of players on the Jets, they was blindsided by Robert Saleh getting let go.
Most of
So
them, from what I understand.
so yeah, so if you thinking that don't have no effect, I mean, there could be some people in there that Aaron Rodgers is rubbing the wrong way. We don't know, but he does have that demeanor. He does have that kind of like history of rubbing people the wrong way and doing and saying crazy stuff. So I mean, who knows? Me personally, I think the Bills. What you say?
See, with me, this is a difficult one because, like, the question was from here on out. So, from watching the interview with Aaron Rodgers and Davante together today, the offense is the same, 90% the same.
Hmm.
So they going right into it this week. They can literally play this week together because he know all the nuances, the verbiage, and all that. Amari still has to start with a learning curve, which I think that's gonna get Davante started off stronger to start. Because they know they
Yeah, they
play
know each other.
together,
They've been playing with each.
same
Yeah, of course.
playbook, pretty much the same. It's just a different coordinator at this point calling it. But Hackett is still in there giving, you know what I'm saying, what stuff to do as well.
Hmm.
A-Rod don't not A-Rod, Amari don't even know this playbook, so I feel like he might not even play for a week or two. And even if when he come to play, he might not be every regular snap count until he gets the plays fully down. Where I think Davante, from what he said he ready to play this week. So to me, that's an edge for the Jets, but I think the Bills have the better quarter. I know the Bills have the better quarterback.
Yeah.
Like I know they got the better quarterback. So it's like I don't think Amari gonna be full throttle until like we're going into a week 7 until like at least week 9, week 10.
Hmm.
But even if he plays a couple games before that where he don't know too much of the plays, he could get them big catches when Josh breaks the pocket, and just, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, stuff like that. So this is a tough one for me. Honestly, it's tougher than I thought it would be before I asked it. But whenever I feel like it's a tough situation, I always go to the best quarterback, and I'm gonna go to the better quarterback. And I'm gonna say overall, I think it's gonna be better for the Bills. Um, that's tough though. I'm not gonna lie. To me, it's no one is an easy pick because I really think Davante is gonna help the Jets a lot. I think some things you can get past dysfunction. A-Rod's been dysfunction most of his career.
Right.
Like with the Packers, that's what he does. Davante has turned it to dysfunction since like that year before he left the Packers.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
this is what they do. The Jets as a team dysfunction. Uh, but I feel like sometimes talent can oversee dysfunction, and the talent is definitely it's all on A right now. He got everything he wanted, literally. To me, it's on him to
Literally.
do to do what they need to get done. But I'm gonna go with the Bills off of the better
Hey, listen.
quarterback.
I hope they do well. Because I want
They
that to turn
better.
it from a third to a second. So
Yeah,
listen, I
yeah,
hope they do
yeah,
well.
for sure. You ain't got no reason for them not to. At this point, you want the best for your team out of it, and the best for your team is them doing like you said. Well, I think it's too late for Davante. He missed too many games for that All Pro, first and second team All Pro, and his stats wasn't good enough to start. So he
Right.
would have to go nuts to be
Eight
on that.
shit.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible. So they got to be AFC conference, or either make the Super Bowl, which is not far fetched. Like
It's
I
not.
said, the
Hey,
same way I feel about the NFC, I feel about the AFC. I feel like I think the Ravens is the best team over there, but I think everybody else could be beat, even the Chiefs that's undefeated.
yeah.
And we don't know what the Ravens gonna do in the playoffs. We see them in the playoffs always buckle. So I
Right.
mean, if the Jets could get in,
You never know.
A Rod still could top out in the
Never.
playoff game. And the
You
defense
never.
could still do. They still got the defense. So I mean, it's definitely there. And the Bills the same with the Bills. Like they got one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Now they got a number one receiver to come again. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to find out
It's
what happens
it's
with.
doable. It's doable, but only time will tell. And I can't wait